Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and would like to see more. So we'll begin by looking into the new signing for the Washington DC Cavalry, and it's 26-year-old Ethan Ferrick. He is an outside back and has played rugby union, baseball, American football in multiple different clubs, and most recently played with Ryan Burrows at the North Virginia Rugby League Eagles. So, a graduate of Bridgewater College, he played for the Bridgewater Eagles American football team while there, and while he was at the college he was studying to be in fitness of some sort. And once he left college, he was a strengthening and conditioning coach in multi-sports, including wrestling and baseball. Speaking of baseball, his father was an inductee to the Colonial Forge baseball team, where he and his brothers all played, as well as the Potomac team, where he was the strength and conditioning coach. Ethan was for a period there. He played rugby union at the same time for Rappahannock Rugby Union, and has also won the Celtic Cup Championship in 2018. While playing at North Virginia Rugby League, as I said, he was playing alongside Ryan Burrows. He's now coach at Washington DC Cavalry. That was announced and confirmed via their Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts. He was selected for the North 13s select side for their North v South game in the USA Rugby League. For a period, he also Ethan played for James River Rugby Union. So he has multi-sports facets. He has great conditioning, and from quite a few of the pictures, and puts in a hard tackle. His Instagram has covered all this, and some decent candid pictures. So welcome to the North American Rugby League, Ethan. Good luck in your contract, and hopefully you're a success with the Washington team. Now we go on to looking at the 4 games that were played in the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup over the weekend, where we saw Castleford versus Warrington, and York versus Wigan, Leeds versus Bradford, and finally Saints versus Featherstone. So first of all, we start off with Castleford Tigers women playing Warrington Wolves women. Castleford, on the back of losing 5 players, were not deterred from a strong performance at Victoria Park in Warrington. Boosted by the returns of Sammy Watts, Lacey Owens and Jasmine Cudjoe for the first appearances of the year. But unfortunately, Cudjoe suffered an injury in the warm-up and forced a shuffle ahead of kick-off. That meant Georgia Hetherington going to hooker, while Amy Backhouse went to centre. After tries in the first half for Georgia Roach and Tilly Churn, Shauna Hoyle, it gave the 2019 finalists Castleford Tigers 14-0 lead at the break. Roach then crashed over for a second to put Cass further in front, but Danny Bound scored in the 20th minute to give Warrington hope. This made the scores 18 points to 6. Danny Bound has been one of the standouts for Warrington as they've started in the first year in the Betfred's Women's Super League North. So she led the line in goal forward. Hetherington crashed over to score for the Castleford Tigers team to finish the scoring, and making the final result 26-6 to the Castleford Tigers over Warrington. Next we have a routing, I'm afraid to say, as Leeds beat Bradford 70 points to nil, with Fran Gulthrop scoring 4 tries, Ellie Frayne scoring 2, and Caitlin Beavers also scoring 2 in the rout, with Courtney Winfield Hill kicking 7 goals for Bradford to go, for Leeds to go through to the next round of the Women's Challenge Cup. So St Helens were next in action against Featherstone Rovers, where Saints were looking to continue their 100% record in all the games in this Challenge Cup game. Saints were well-deserving winners in the end by winning 44 points to 10 against the Rovers, as Faye Gaskin scored 2 tries, and Amy Hardcastle scored a hat-trick. Faye Gaskin also kicked 3 goals in the win, while Featherstone try scorers were Lauren Roberts and Andrea Dobson. Beth Blacklock scored the goal for Featherstone to complete the scoring, with it being 20 points to 4 at half-time. And for our final game will be the York City Knights versus Wigan Warriors. York, who have been buoyed by their 7 new signings into their ranks, including Kelsey Gentles, Grace Fields, Tamsin Renouf, who are England internationals, to bring that experience to this York side, who are going up against the competitive Wigan side, who were unbeaten in their 2 games and looking to progress into the quarter-finals. So a quick rundown on the actual game. York opened the scoring in the 3rd minute with 2 of the new signings. Rihanna Marshall produced an incredible offload for Grace Fields to go over for a try. On YouTube, it was a great offload. It really was. A great support as well from Grace Fields. The club link-up must have been the one that, because they both played for Cass previously, was the reason that they could pull off the handling that they did. Buoyed by their strong start, York were obviously full of confidence, and the Warriors had a storm to weather in the opening 10 minutes as Knights searched for more points. Wigan held firm, however, and with their forwards working hard in the middle and setting the platform for the back line, they struck with 2 tries in succession, with Anna Davis and Rachel Thompson scoring the first try of the game, when both were finding joy on the edges to put their side ahead. The last time the two met, Wigan came away 42 points to 0 winners, and they might be forgiven to think that they might run away. However, York dispelled any worries of a repeat by getting themselves back in front, with Bethany Lambert scoring in the corner on the 20th minute in the clock, with 20 minutes on the clock. The game was quickly turning into an entertaining cup tie. Wigan didn't leave it long to hit back with their 3rd try of the game, with Rebecca Greenfield selling an outrageous dummy to score in the corner. Georgia Wilson nudged the Warriors ahead with the first successful conversion of the afternoon. After an end-to-end 35 minutes, York began to tire, and Wigan took full advantage, where Sturzika found a space on the left-hand side to cross. However, there was yet another twist in the frantic first half, as York kept it for a short kick-off, and this proved successful as they regained possession. They were up against the clock in the half-time, coming up to the half, but York looked to their left edge, and Mel Halstead was on hand to level the scores up at 18 points to 18 at half-time. With the second half just as entertaining, the back and forth for the kicks, as Grace Fields dotted down after latching onto Sinead Peach's inch-perfect kicks. Wigan, though, had come into the game as favourites, but were undoubtedly rattled as the game entered the final quarter. The scores were, however, tied at 24-24 as Wigan scored to set up a grandstand finish, and it was left to Grace Fields to finish off the game as a hat-trick, as it was a brilliant play, a build-up play from Rhiannon Marshall again, and Fields timed her run perfectly to get her hat-trick and put the Science on the brink of the semi-finals. There were still some nervous minutes to play as it was 24-24 and they scored on the 75th minute, and Wigan were just there, keep coming. So it was one of those games where it was end to end, bit nervy, tries up on top of tries, and York came out 30 points to 24 winners. So those are the results for the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup second round, and the draw for the quarterfinals was very, very interesting because the first semi-final was Saints versus Leeds, which is going to be a very competitive semi-final, and the second game will be York versus Castleford. So York a home field advantage, but it will mean that a few returning players will be going back to face their old Cats team. It's going to be fun and games for those players as they are going against their old teammates and probably trained against, and will be looking to ramp up their performances and saying, look what you're missing. So that'll be the tie of the weekend for me. Both of those ties will be played on Saturday the 22nd of May, which has very good benefits for the winners of those two games, as while the men's semi-finals is going on the Saturday the 5th of June, BBC 2 is showing the game for the Women's Betfred Challenge Cup final live for the first time ever. It's something that I've been calling for the last 2 years. Play it in between the two semi-finals as it's a final. You'll have the eyes on it, because there'll be people waiting for the two games to come through, or you may have some crossover, watching half the game and then half a game and the other one. But it's an entire day of rugby league on BBC 2, and if they get the right marketing and the right fans on board, it's free TV. It's free TV. And it's eyes for the women's game, which can only help it, especially with that weekend being also the start of the Southern Conferences, East and West. You know my views on the East and West thing, but that's what we're going to live with at this moment in time. I'm going to leave that point there. Anyway, so hopefully they'll bring some attention to that. So I'm excited. I will be watching the York versus Castleford game, because that will probably be the one that will be on the Sportsman, free on YouTube, or worst case scenario, it's on the Our League app. So that's it for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Also remember, the race to 100 is still on, so subscribe. 100 of you come up as subscribers, I'll pick 10 t-shirts for those 10. What more could you ask for? All totally free. It's just something from me to say thank you to you. We'll be looking to do more in the future, but share these videos. Tell your friends. Rugby league fans, come on, it's rugby league. It's news for you. Anyway, I'll stop begging now, and I'll just say, see you in the next video.